I won't do another thing. Call that immature. Take care of that stupid ass yourself.
Okay.
Lucky I'm doing this much. That's the blessing.
The blessing is to be able to have understanding, forgiveness in your heart.
We have it. I have forgiven you. Otherwise, I would be on with my life happy as hell.
I didn't come here for this.
But I'm just letting you know.
What the young lady said,
Atlanta's streets came alive as the latest conflict began to take shape. Drama had always been a part of Jock's life, but this time it was more intense and intimate. Everything began when Jock made a startling discovery. He was shocked to learn that his girlfriend, Kendra, had gone too far, even though he had always been organized and frugal with his finances. Young Joe, the seasoned rapper and reality star, who is renowned for his laid-back demeanor, was prepared to light a firestorm. And it would take weeks for the world to learn about it. When Jock noticed some discrepancies in his accounts, he first thought it was a straightforward mistake, perhaps a technical glitch or a math error. However, as the numbers grew, he noticed that the transactions were too frequent and intentional. Jock decided to take matters into his own hands after realizing that someone close to him was betraying his trust. Jock was a man who cherished his aloneness and his reputation. Peace of mind, Jock hired a private investigator to look into the issue, and the investigator quickly gathered the information needed to reveal the truth. The video was far more damning than what Jock had found, which was alarming. In the movie, it was clearly seen that Kendra, who had been living with him and had access to his money, was transferring sizable sums of money from his account into her own. This betrayal was unlike anything Jock had ever experienced because Kendra was the person he had trusted and believed to be on his side. Side was obtaining funds from him without his consent. Even though he was sad, Jock wasn't shocked because he knew he couldn't keep this to himself and had to face Kendra and the world. He decided to release the entire video after obtaining it. As the day of reckoning drew nearer, Jock braced himself for the tempest that was ahead. He knew that Kendra would not take it lightly, but he had no idea how she would react. He was unprepared for the chaos that would break out, and the fans, family, and everyone else involved were in shock. Everyone gasped as the movie leaked online, and the camera panned in on Kendra as she collected the money without hesitation. This was not an accident, it was deliberate theft. When Kendra saw the video, everything changed. She had thought that she and Jockey were close enough to share secrets, but the reality was very different, and Jockey felt deceived. Obvious, it was time for Kendra to fully experience this. Consequences of her actions enraged and ashamed. Kendra was shocked that the Jock would harm her in this way, and the treachery was more painful than the actual theft. She never thought he'd share their private issues with the world. How could he expose her in this way? Did he not value their connection?
fine.
How did you even see that? Did you go?
I did. I can go to his page and see when he was in Atlanta and when he was hitting you.
You can never break me. Ever. I'm trying to get some money.
You.
No, you.
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 I'm done with you. You dead to me. But what?
Get the papers. I'm gonna take the high road like I should have done a long time ago.
Kendra wasted no time in getting her retribution, storming into the Jock studio with her face flushed and her eyes blazing. She was furious, and the storm of emotions within her was about to explode. "How dare you put me on blast like that?" She screamed in a loud, poisonous voice as she entered the room. "Do you really think you can play me this way?" The Jock stood calm but determined, having carefully prepared himself for this moment. "But Kendra, even if I didn't want to, you forced me to do this. I cannot put up with you continuing to take from me." Kendra's face is contorted with shock. Kendra's voice betrayed her anger. She was angry, embarrassed, and furious that Jock had brought up their private matter in public. But her actions were too significant to be discounted. Therefore, Jock was not going to back down. "You're acting like I snatched it from you, Joss. What is the duration of our relationship? This is who we are. Now you're going to treat me like a criminal on the streets. I had to tell you the truth because you have been lying to me for months, and you wouldn't be honest. You've deceived me, taken money that wasn't yours, and now it's all over, Kendra." Jock spoke in a calm but firm voice. The entire world knows what you did." Kendra got so angry that she marched over to him and pointed a finger in his face. "You're going to sit here and lecture me about honesty after everything we've gone through together," becoming more and more passionate with each word. "You have embarrassed me. You think that exposure like this will put things right?" Jock's words were as powerful as 1,000 charges, and they filled the air. The relationship, which was based on betrayal, trust, and respect, was not one that Jock allowed her to control. You had a choice, a fool for oneself. You thought you could get away with it. Thought I wouldn't catch on, but I did, and now you have to own up to what you've done," he responded as Kendra's voice became increasingly forceful. Kendra's eyes were filled with shock and rage. She was unable to comprehend Jock's aloofness and readiness to show the world her flaws. She felt as if this was a personal attack that she had never expected, and her emotions were all over the place. Undoubtedly, she had deceived him, but not in the manner she had anticipated. She had assumed. For a long moment, Shanji looked down at her without saying anything. "You didn't help us, Kendra. Now you have to face the consequences of what you took from us." Her hands were clenched into fists as she paced back and forth. "Do you really think I was going to hurt you, Jock? Do you think I stole just for fun? I was trying to help you and us, but you turned everything against me. You threw me to the wolves in this manner." The atmosphere in the room was intense, and Kendra's anger was as real as her guilt at having gone too far. However, Jock had taken the time to ensure she was aware of it. The impact of her acts was real and had far-reaching effects. Kendrick saw that she was suppressing her anger despite the walls closing in. There was no turning back from the fact now that the meeting had reached a headlock. He stayed faithful because he knew that this moment would change everything. Although he was certain that Kendra had deceived him, he wasn't certain that their relationship would withstand the harm.
So can come out of there.
I got grown kids.
Okay.
So it's very important.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. No. You okay. See? What? Oh, alright.
You know,
Force me, mean the sense. I don't have to me her. I won't do another thing. Call that immature. Take care of that stupid ass yourself.
okay.
Lucky I'm doing this one. That's the blessing.
The blessing is to be able to have understanding, forgiveness in your heart.
We have it. I have forgiven you. Otherwise, I would be on with my life happy as hell.
I didn't come here to this.
But I'm just letting you know.
You what the young lady said,
Atlanta's streets were bustling with activity when the current dispute took form. As usual, Jock's life was full of drama, but this time it was more personal and emotional. It all began when Jock made a mind-blowing discovery. He had always been organized and had been frugal with his finances, but he had failed to anticipate that his girlfriend, Kendra, had gone too far and that everything would blow up in his face. Young Joe, the seasoned rapper and reality star who is renowned for his laid-back demeanor, was prepared to light a firestorm. As a man who valued his privacy as much as his peace of mind, Jock had been worried for weeks after noticing some abnormalities in his money. At first, he thought it might have been a technological glitch or an error, but when the figures stacked up, he realized that someone close to him was betraying his confidence. Jock decided to take independent action and hired a private investigator to investigate. The fact that Kendra, who had been living with him and had access to his assets, was seen transferring large sums of money from his account into her own, made the footage much more incriminating. Jock didn't take long to gather the evidence he required to prove the truth. Jock had never seen such a path before. The woman he believed to be by his side, Kendra, was cheating on him, but he had trusted her. Despite his limitations, the athlete knew he had to address this and couldn't keep it to himself. He decided to tell Kendra and the world everything now that he had the video. As the day of reckoning drew near, Jockey prepared himself for the storm that was coming since he knew Kendra would not take it lightly. Jockey was ill-prepared for the chaos that would ensue, so when he released the video, fans, family, and everyone else involved in the issue were riveted to their screens. The video was circulated online.